welcome everyone. Welcome to the camera review of the new Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. At this time I'm recording this video with the front camera of the Redmi Note 11 on 1080p resolution with its own mic, so you can get the idea of front camera video also. In this video I'm going to include wide, ultra wide, macro, portrait, night mode, videos, slow motion and selfies, so you can get clear idea of its camera. So for that, let's begin the video. First of all, let's see few camera specifications. There is 50 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel depth on back of the Redmi Note 11, and on front we have 13 megapixel selfie camera. In camera application we have photo, video, pro, portrait, macro, panorama and night mode available. Plus you have separate option of 50 megapixel which you can select if you want to capture high resolution. On starting the review, first I want to tell you that if you are going to take photos with Redmi Note 11, first turn off the AI. Here you can see the difference between the sample that I took with AI and without AI. The sample with AI has more saturation, or if I say oversaturating, and more exposure. So please keep the AI turned off while taking the photos if you want to capture good colors. As most phones these days, the Redmi Note 11 also boosts a quad camera setup. But as you have probably guessed by now by following releases, not all cameras are all that useful. Here is my photo in daylight. One thing I can say, the camera of the Redmi Note 11 is downgraded than the Redmi Note 10, or providing equal quality to the Redmi Note 10. But don't get me wrong here, colors are fine, not bad, photo is good in sharpness and details are also fine. And if I zoom the sample, the subject becomes blurry and we can also notice noise in background. So yes, there is some noise in samples also. Color tone is fine, but in this sample Redmi Note 11 captured more cool tone. What do you say about this sample? Please let me know in the comments below. In this shot, Redmi Note 11 performed good, colors are fine and there is good amount of detail. Shadows are also good. Dynamic range is fine. In few samples like this, Redmi Note 11 provided unusually more sharpness, as you can see in this sample and here in this sample also. And if I compare wide with ultra wide samples have soft edges and colors are mostly washed off, as you can see in these samples. Ultra wide is 8 megapixel, but I will not suggest you to use ultra wide if it's not necessary. Hope you got the idea of what I want to say. The Redmi Note 11 usually takes photo in 12 megapixel, but you can also select 50 megapixel if you want to capture more pixels. There is basically no difference in quality between the 12 megapixel and the 50 megapixel, but if you zoom 50 megapixel sample, then there is more detail on it, in case if you need to crop the photo. Here are few portrait samples. No doubt edge detection is really impressive in portrait samples, colors are also good and there is enough detail. Redmi Note 11 is performing good in portrait mode. Next, here are night samples that I took with night mode. In first sample, you can see noise in the sky, so there will be noise in the night samples also. Colors are a little bit washed off, but at the end Redmi 11 has night mode if you need to take night sample in case of need. So here I can say Redmi Note 11 has better camera if you look at price tag, but I cannot say it's the best. Hopefully Xiaomi rolled out an update to make the camera better. And now it's time for the videos. Again, Xiaomi downgraded the Redmi Note 11 because we can record videos in 720 and 1080p. 4K is not available, while the Redmi Note 10 came with the 4K. The quality of the video is same that we can expect in this price tag. Colors are fine and there are good amount of detail. But the autofocus is not so good. Sometimes we need to tap the subject manually to tell the phone where to focus. Like this time I tapped flower. And here is slow motion sample. Redmi Note 11 captured slow motion in 720p. Quality is not so good but average. And now it's time for the selfies. There is 13 megapixel selfie camera on the Redmi Note 11. In selfies, Redmi Note 11 performed really good. Dynamic range and colors both are better. Color tone is also nice. In selfies, portrait mode also available. Here you can see edge detection is fine. Colors are also good in portrait mode. So this was the camera review of the Redmi Note 11, and now it's time for the final thoughts. In my opinion, camera of the Redmi Note 11 is okay if you look at the price tag, but not the best for those who want phone for the photography. This time Xiaomi focused more on performance than the camera. But at the end, this is my opinion. You can disagree with that and can put your thoughts in comments below. And if you found this video helpful, then please like it and subscribe to my channel. See you in full review of the Redmi Note 11. Take care. Peace for all.